After a wild weekend of protest and police enforcement, the streets of Ottawa are calm today.
And with the occupation behind them, Parliament still going ahead with the vote tonight on whether to authorize the Emergencies Act. Sylvie Lenve has the latest.
The federal government says it is still worried that there could be more protests. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau defended his decision to invoke the Emergencies Act, saying it was, and still is, necessary.
Law enforcement agencies relied on it to set up secured areas in downtown Ottawa and at border crossings. It prevented foreign money from continuing to fund illegal blockades, and it's making sure our borders remain open.
Trudeau said the government needs the power to designate border crossings as places where protesters could be turned away, and to order tow truck companies to move big rigs from the streets.
When the Emergencies Act was brought in, many tow truck companies said, okay, we'll do it, didn't need to be compelled, but there were some companies that needed to be compelled under the Emergencies Act to remove trucks.
Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland says the Emergencies Act enabled the government to freeze the accounts of protest leaders and organizers, as well as people whose trucks were part of the occupations.
The way to get your account unfrozen is to stop being part of the blockade and occupation. These measures were put in place to disrupt illegal activity in Canada.
The Emergencies Act was invoked on February 14th, and with parliamentary approval will continue to be enforced until mid-March. Conservatives say they will vote against the measure.
When Canada was at one of its greatest challenges, the response from this government was a grab for power through the tactics of division and the lack of any plan forward. Let us get on with responsible endemic living.
This government has not provided sufficient evidence that we are in a national emergency. There is no proof that law enforcement agencies need additional and far-reaching powers to enforce the law. And Canadians should not face harmful financial penalties for opposing government policy.
NDP leader Jagmeet Singh says his party is giving reluctant support to the measure.
We've seen the impacts on the residents of Ottawa, on small businesses, on people, and we've seen an attack on our democracy. We've seen the impact to workers who've faced lost hours of lost days of wages.
But Singh says the NDP is prepared to pull support as soon as the party believes it's no longer necessary. Parliament will vote to authorize the Emergencies Act tonight. The Conservatives, along with the Bloc, will be voting against it, but the Liberals with the NDP support have more than enough votes to ensure its passage. Trudeau says they will only keep the Emergencies Act in place if it's absolutely necessary and are reevaluating the situation each day.